It's okay if they're following you on Instagram and they never listen to your podcast. They're there for you. They're going to support you in whatever it is that you do.
This was something not from our survey, but from Chartable that they released a while back, is that from cross promotions, which is a kind of, a popular podcast growth trend, that 0.75% of the audience of the show that you did a cross promo with convert back to your show on average. And that was tracked through their smart links. And so that's less than 1%. So again, we're looking at like, okay, if this show had 1,000 listeners, less than 10 people are coming back to your show, like 7 or 8 people. And this is something that I heard, again, actually shouting out Jay Klaus again. He just did an episode the other week with a really smart guy named Chris Hutchins, who has a show called All the Hacks. And he was saying in his experience that for his show specifically, he had got 0.1 to 0.8% conversion rate on cross promo. So that's even on the lower end of what Chartable had said. But he had said that guesting on other shows converted at around 4%, which again, this is like still a small number. You guest on a show and only get 4% of people back. But it is, more than 4 times as effective as cross promos. So I think that those are really worth thinking about and setting expectations of as you're doing these things. It's not like any one of these is going to like blow the doors wide open on your growth. But the one other thing that I always like to say about this is that the more touch points you get with an audience, the faster that kind of compounding happens, where they reach the critical mass, where they've got, that requisite number of, 5 or 10 or however many it is, kind of interactions with you. And so the more guesting, the more cross promotions you do, the more effective they actually become in aggregate. And so that's one of the things that I'm a huge proponent of, is like, whatever your niche or space is, like saturate it, make it impossible for people in that niche to not know at least of your name. They don't need to like love you, listen to your podcast, sign up to your email list. But if everybody knows who you are, it becomes so much easier. They don't need to consider like, do I like this person or not? They're like, I've always liked that person, and they got a new episode that looks really good. Like, yeah, of course I'm going to listen to that. And so the one thing I would say to that is that you can only do this when you pick a small enough niche. You can't say, I want everybody interested in business to know my name. That is way too big a pool to like saturate that. But you can say, hey, I want everybody who is a conversion copywriter at a SaaS company that has raised this much in funding. That's a pretty small pool, and you could become known as that very quickly. And so the smaller the pool, the easier it is to kind of saturate it.